Hey guys, this is Matt with 4hydroponics.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Dr. Doom knockout spray as well as their fogger. So first we'll talk about when to use these. Ideally, we want to use any of this kind of stuff in veg. We really don't want to have to spray our plants or fog our plants in flower. Sometimes if you have to, you have to, but really, ideally, if it's gotten really bad flower, you might be better off just starting over. This is much better for an infestation in a veg room or maybe early flower. The active ingredient in both of these is pyrethrin, which is a relatively benign insecticide if used properly. We don't obviously want to get a bunch of it on our skin or inhale it, so that does tell you that it's not completely benign. It is designed to be used quite a bit before harvest. They do say on here that you can use a couple days before harvest, but a lot of this stuff, when they talk about that, they're talking about fruits and vegetables that are going to be washed off and cleaned, not ingested in other ways. So keep that in mind. A lot of the labeling that you will see on some of this stuff that says you can use 2 days before harvest, it might not concern the exact plant that you're gardening with. So the spider mite knockout spray is the first step really to use this product ideally or successfully. You don't necessarily have to, but it really makes sense to use some kind of spray before we fog. The reason for that is the fogger only kills adults, so obviously the eggs are a big problem. If we use the spider mite knockout spray, it's going to kill eggs and adults on contact, and we're going to be able to go under there, spray the plants thoroughly, especially the undersides of the leaves, which the fogger doesn't really get very well, and then we're going to fog after that, ideally to kill everything else in that room. With the knockout spray, you do want to stand a little bit far back from your plant and do short bursts of spray. We don't really want to saturate it as much as you do with other sprays. It's more of just a light mist on the plant. If you overdo it, you could see some negative effects from it, so be careful and be light with this product. When it comes to fogging, there's quite a few little protocols that you do need to pay attention to. They are flammable, so you do really want to pay attention to what you got going on with pilot lights and things like that in your house. If the room that you're fogging is completely sealed up, you could argue that you do not need to turn your pilot lights off. But if the room is not sealed up and it's next to your water heater or furnace, it does really make sense to go ahead and shut those pilot lights off. Also, I'd recommend getting your animals, your pets, your cats, your dogs, your birds, that stuff out of the house for a few hours just to be safe. You don't necessarily have to adhere to that, but I really, we all love our pets and we don't want anybody to get hurt, and they could be adversely affected if for some reason it made it into the house in a high concentration. To ideally use something like this is a big one. This is really big. They make them much smaller for more reasonable size areas. I just grabbed the big one just for showing you the bottle. But the smallest one is one that most people are using. That is going to be placed on top of some kind of 5-gallon bucket or something stable that's above the plant canopy. We don't want this in direct contact with the plant. It can damage cell walls, so be careful with that. We want it on top of a bucket or on top of a chair or something that's above the plant canopy. We're going to go ahead and depress the tab, turn off, before you do that, make sure you turn off all your exhaust fans, your circulation fans, seal the room up completely, turn the lights off. Go in there, put your fogger on your bucket or your stool or whatever, turn the fogger on by pressing the tab down and get out of there as fast as possible. Close the room and seal it up behind you, and we're going to go into the room at very least 2 hours after the fogger. The longer the better. Once we go in that room, you're going to want to quickly turn on your exhaust and air out that room as best as possible. If you have windows, if it's a greenhouse, obviously open up your shades, open up your windows and let everything air out. If it's an indoor environment, make sure you turn your exhaust fans on and get that all exhausted out of your space before you go back in and work in that space. We don't really recommend using these things in flower once again, but if you need to use them on ornamental plants or anything that might be really infested that you really need to save, that is a great way to really disperse a pesticide really evenly, really thoroughly through an environment, and in conjunction with something like a knockout spray or any other good insecticide, you can really knock down a population of bugs really quickly. Because bugs, especially spider mites in general, have a really fast population, a really fast growing population, they will reproduce every 3 to 4 days. So ideally we would need to use both these products every 3 or 4 days, anywhere from 2 to 4 times in a row, to really completely eradicate a spider mite population. That's something that you don't see a lot of people doing, so they'll use one here, they'll use one there, trying to control spider mites, and it just doesn't seem to work. So if you're going to actually try to control a population, use them every 3 to 4 days for 2 to 4 times consecutively, and then see where that gets you. If it's just for cleaning a space, you could definitely get away with maybe once, maybe even twice, to make sure that you're getting all the eggs that might have hatched over the last couple days. But just be careful when you're using this stuff. Make sure you're following all the safety precautions. Try not to get bugs in the first place, obviously, in your greenhouses, in your room, but if you're up against the wall, these 2 products can help you out. I wanted to do a video about it because we do sell quite a few of them, and we want to make sure we touch on the safety aspect of this stuff as well. So I hope this video helped you out, got you a little bit more educated on how to properly use a fogger if you need to, and some of the safety involved in it. It's available on our website. Thanks for checking the video out. We'll see you next time.